What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Fight Picks. This weekend we have the huge card between McGregor and Dustin Poirier 3. It's going to be an amazing stack card. You know how UFC comes back from a 2-week long layoff with a stack card like UFC 264. And we're going to break down some of the picks for you, starting with the first fight of the main card. It's going to be Sugar Sean O'Malley versus the late replacement Chris Moutinho. I personally feel, as with everyone, this should be a cakewalk, walk in the park, whatever you want to call it, for Sugar Sean O'Malley. Very tough fight, especially for your first fight. You know how the UFC is, you're thrown straight into the dogs, and Sugar Sean O'Malley is the biggest dog around town in the bantamweight division. It should be a very smooth fight for Sugar Sean. I predict a early first round stoppage, and it should be a very good win for him in his quest for greatness in the bantamweight division. And no disrespect to Chris Moutinho, I think it's just a very hard fight, very short notice, let alone a guy like Sugar Sean. So should be a first round stoppage for me. Next we have Irene Aldana and Yana Kunitskaya. I have Kunitskaya winning that fight. Could go either way. It's a pretty good women's bantamweight matchup as well. Again, but I think Kunitskaya gets the job done. Then we have the heavyweights Tai Tuivasa and Greg Hardy. If this fight goes the distance, I will be extremely disappointed. I do not think it's going to go the distance. I have my boy Tai Tuivasa winning by KO in round 2. All credit to Greg Hardy, one of my favorite up-and-coming fighters, if you want to call him that. He's almost pretty seasoned now with a couple fights in the UFC and a couple good wins against some notable names. But I have Tai Tuivasa winning this fight. You can say KO and also a second round KO if you want to be specific. Then we have the co-main, Gilbert Burns, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. I think Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is the next in line to get either a shot at the title or the title itself again in the welterweight division. Gilbert Burns has been, standing up in most of his recent fights, but Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is a hard puzzle to crack. I do not think Gilbert Burns knows how to solve that puzzle in Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. And with that karate style, it's going to make it very hard for him. I see Stephen Wonderboy Thompson getting a decision victory. Could be a stoppage as well, but I do see Stephen Wonderboy Thompson getting the win in that fight. Obviously, got to be a very hard fight for Gilbert Burns. Then finally, to the lightweight bout of the evening, the main event of the evening, Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier 3, the trilogy. Who would have thought this is the trilogy fight that would take place? First in Conor McGregor's career, we all had another person in mind, in the person of Nate Diaz, and this is how destiny shaped itself out. So we have a third fight coming up. We don't have to say it any further. This is a huge fight, a lot on the line for Conor McGregor, not so much for Dustin Poirier. Again, he was offered a lightweight strap, a shot at the title holder, Charles Oliveira. He refused. Smart businessman. Obviously, it has to make more money with McGregor, so he took this fight instead. And I think there's no pressure on Dustin Poirier really in this case. It's all on Conor McGregor. Obviously, we don't want to think too far ahead, but a loss would put Conor McGregor in no man's land in his career. It would be a very tough way to go, whether it be to boxing or continuing in MMA after another loss like that back to back. So I think a lot is along the line for Conor McGregor. And with that being said, I do think this is going to be a totally different fight from the first fight. I see Conor McGregor coming out in that vintage stance, in that Taekwondo stance everyone's been talking about. And I think it's going to be a flurry of punches coming up, in terms of he's going to put the pressure on Dustin Poirier, and he's not going to let him get the center of the octagon advantage. And he's going to go straight to work off the bat. Obviously, we know those first 2 rounds are very important for Conor, and I think he's going to capitalize on that. It's going to be a totally different fight. I would put my money on the fact that Conor's going to come out not flat-footed, going to jump around a lot, move around a lot, and put on a clinic. He's in good spirits. A lot of different from the last camp. We see him not with his family as much, with a specific team. Last time he had a lot of boxing boxing coaches and people around the boxing space around him, you know, with talks of Manny Pacquiao maybe happening and whatnot. So this time we have traditional martial arts artists, trainers, and sparring partners coming in, and I think it's going to be a much different fight from the first one. And I do see Conor KOing Dustin Poirier in the second round. If you want to make some money, put it on number 2. He goes down in 2. And I think it's going to be a good night for Conor. I think he gets it done. No discredit to Dustin Poirier again. He is a phenomenal striker, very underrated striker, even against Conor McGregor. But I do see Conor getting the victory. I see him going back to his roots and stopping Dustin Poirier in the second round is what I'm hoping and predicting. But who knows? This is the fight business. Would hate to see, don't even want to think about it. But a lot's on the line. A lot is on the line this weekend. And it should be a great weekend. 2 weeks off, and this is what we get: a stack card, undercard. We got Carlos Condit on there. We got Ryan Hall on there. Very excited to watch him. And yeah, it's going to be a very exciting fight. Here are the final picks again. I'll put it right here for anyone wanting to put some money or need some advice on some of the fights. This is who I have. And yeah, I see this being a very fun fight. Conor gets the victory. We have a lot of options. We're going to have a good time if Conor McGregor gets the win. We got a lightweight shot, possibly Nate Diaz. We got, you know, a lot of other 155ers in the market to go with. It's going to be a very good fight, and I can't wait for this fight card. Finally, a Conor McGregor fight week. Nothing like it. Enjoy.